Fish is a very important component of very many people's diet. In fact, you might have eaten it recently. But what if I told you that there's a very high chance that the fish you're eating has pesticides in it?
The water in the lake is not safe. The fish is also not safe in most areas.
Lake Victoria is home to 400 species of fish. Over the last 15 years, the fisheries sector in Uganda has played an important social and economic role as a foreign exchange earner, with the country exporting fish worth 171 million US dollars, approximately 635 billion shillings in 2018. The fisheries sector is experiencing growth after years of decline caused by bad fishing practices. A crackdown against illegal fishing practices is beginning to bear fruits. However, the gains made might be cancelled by a new threat to the fish in Uganda's biggest water body, Lake Victoria, and its high rates of pollution. Recently, a group of researchers concerned about the state of pollution in Lake Victoria collected samples of water, sediments, and fish. They intended to establish the rate of chemical pollution, determine the exact contaminants, what were the main sources of pollution, and what possible risks these contaminants pose to the health of both the fish and the humans that depend on the lake and its tributaries for their livelihoods.
We will be able to test the chemicals and elements. I made it to say that not all chemicals are harmful to our aquatic animals. There are some that are nutritive, but it all depends with the levels, and that's what we want to see. What are the elements that are there? What are the chemicals that are there? And at what levels are we getting? Above a certain threshold now, they tend to be useful to being toxic. Some of them should not be there at all. We are also picking aquatic animals, and we are targeting the one that human beings will directly feed on, and that's fish.
From the tests, several pesticides were detected in the samples. A number of them have been globally banned due to their toxicity and environmental persistence. Banned pesticides detected in the water include DDT, which affects reproduction in humans, endosulfan affects reproduction in humans, and Merex affecting aquatic life. Fish samples collected from Gaba Fish Market were found to have a 50% presence of pesticides, and those collected from Masese landing site in Jinja were found to have 32% presence of pesticides in them.
When there are farming activities, people will spray the pesticides, okay? And the pesticide will be in the, when now it rains, those chemicals can dissolve in the water, which can now move into the lake. Or if there is a river that is draining into the lake and it's passing through areas that are contaminated, it will also pick those things and take them to the water.
Another chemical contaminant discovered in the water were heavy metals. The Nachivubo Channel, an open waste and storm channel, has its source in the northern neighborhoods of Kampala City. The channel moves around overcrowded, polluted slums, downtown markets, and industrial areas, carrying waste from all these places to the lake. Samples of water and sediments taken from the Nachivubo Channel, where Kampala City's effluent flows before discharging into Lake Victoria, revealed the presence of heavy metals. Fish samples from Gawa Fish Market and Masese landing site were found to have presence of lead above the World Health Organization maximum levels.
Metals like lead are very, very dangerous for human health.
Other heavy metals detected were zinc, iron, copper, and manganese, all below the Codex, FAO or WHO permitted maximum residue level.
We still need these in certain amounts. Too much of copper, too much of iron can be dangerous for the body.
Contrary to these findings, the Assistant Commissioner of Fisheries in the Ministry of Agriculture says the lake and fish are safe.
The fish in Lake Victoria is still safe. It is still safe as human consumption is concerned, we have been carrying out tests for over 10 years on our fish. We test on the water, we do tests on the fish, we test on the sediments, and we have not found the levels. There were some levels in the sediment, but still below maximum levels.
Over the years, National Water and Sewage Corporation have had to spend more amounts of money in treating the water that ends up in your house.
Say 10 years ago, we would spend an average of 750 million Uganda shillings per month on chemicals. Now, as a result of the pollution, we had to introduce more effective chemicals. As a result of this, our chemical costs have increased. To date, we are talking about a bill of 1.3 billion to 1.5 billion.
From the body in charge of supplying safe water to the city, effective monitoring of the lake is done monthly. The tests carried out reveal traces of pesticides and heavy metals.
There are traces, but within minimal thresholds.
National Water and Sewerage Corporation assures the public of delivery of water that goes through a thorough treatment process, but more action is needed from other state agencies.
National Water cannot go it alone. We must also have participation from other actors, like the agency responsible for wetlands and the general environmental protection.
According to the Executive Director of the National Environment Management Authority, NEMA, the lake is not polluted. However, he is tasking the Ministry of Agriculture to document the pesticides used.
The lake may not be clean, but not that it's not safe. Those two are different things. The lake, as you saw, it may not be, it's not that the fish there is not safe for eating, no. But above all, it has not reached the carrying capacity, what we can call now pollution, that should be there. Should not. We now have pockets of contamination for pesticides for agriculture, which are used in agricultural practices. We are tasking the Ministry of Agriculture, which is a lead institution which brings pesticides for agriculture. First of all, to document the pesticides that are coming in and where they are used and how they are used.
Fish from these areas is transported to different towns and exported as well. Fish exported is expected to meet certain standards according to the European Union criteria.
We look for residue of metals, heavy metals, and pesticides. So we have been testing for mercury, for lead, all those we test. There are levels which are recommended by the World Health Organization. It's below those levels. The residues found in our waters. These issues of pollution, they are localized areas, like in Gaba and so on, Mwant and so on. Those ones you can find localized pollution. But one thing we have to keep in mind is fish does not stay in one place. It moves. For it to bioaccumulate, it must stay in that place for a long time.
Water pollution of all kinds can have negative effects on the environment and often impacts human health. Today, pollution has been linked to the increase in the prevalence of diseases like cancer.
There are multiple problems, cancers, especially of the gastrointestinal tract. That means all the way from the mouth to anus, because that is a lining where when something is eaten, it must be exposed. And there is a lot of increase in cancers of that part. So there is also a decrease in the immune system. When the immune system is compromised, then the person will suffer from many types of diseases. We are talking about even resistance of some bacteria to treatment, which can be caused by all those exposures. And those organisms can be passed to many people, even far.
How can we turn this around?
First is to have behavior change, and even the policies that are there, they need also to be revised and see whether are they serving us. Are they good policies? If they are good, are they being implemented? Who is responsible for implementing them?
The current levels of pesticide and heavy metal pollution are enough to warrant attention. They could lead to disease and even a decline in the fish stocks. Both scenarios undesirable. Rita Kanya, NTV.